Thank you, thank you. Stefano invited me as an economist, but he doesn't know that I'm a repentant economist. So I hope that you won't repent to have invited me here. I just begin with one very simple observation that that came out this morning to my mind. Listening, most of the thing I looked at, I didn't know really. The distraction, the importance of what is happening in this moment in the world. So it is obvious that the heritage is a very relevant political target, is a very relevant political issue. At the same time, if I really figure out what is happening, for example, in my country, the kind of awareness that the people, my students do have about what is happening is completely low, is very low. So at the same time, heritage is a very strong political relevant issue, and on the other side is a completely unrelevant issue. And we need to know that we are shifting among these two sides of the story. So what is happening with the heritage is a little bit like what is happening with our bodies. I was working with talking with a dancer, and he said to me, right, walk. And then he said, all right, do the same thing, but slowing down 90%. And I began to understand that I was not able to walk 90% more slowly because I didn't know if my hands were going up before the knee and how I put my foot. So I habit my body without being aware of my body. And this is a little bit what happened with the heritage. We inhabit the heritage, but we are not aware. And this is the political agenda of Europe. We need to admit our failure in letting the people having this kind of awareness. So having this kind of, let's say, understanding in mind, I think that probably, no, this is not my presentation. I'm sorry. I changed it this morning. Anyway, I can do it without. The point is for me that we need to know and probably to figure out that the problem of managing the conservation of heritage is double-sided. We need to maintain the heritage and to maintain the awareness of the meanings of the heritage, but not only in the technical environment, in the people, in the local communities. We need to cope with this process, and to maintain this process is a very complex task, because we need to talk with a multiple stakeholders environment, and we need to understand that we need to produce different chain of values at the same time. So this is an entrepreneurial task and a very difficult task. So it's a very sophisticated operation that we normally don't train. We don't train the people to this task. We train the people to be very good in maintaining the object and understanding the value. We train the people to be good manager of anything. We don't train the people to know how to cope with this complexity. So now this is the basics. So then I produced a kind of theoretical frame, and then been lost in the maybe I can give this theoretical frame tomorrow if I will have the opportunity to talk again, if you let me, Stefan. But what I will tell you after this is why I repented as an economist. Because I've been in BAM. I went in BAM in 2004, and yeah, maybe. I would like to have my presentation. Can I keep this moment? Adding this moment to my presentation. Stop the time like in the rugby match, okay? Okay. I've been in BAM, and we did a study on BAM in order to understand if the people. It was April 2004, so it was 4 months after the earthquake. The earthquake killed 8,000 people, if I remember. It was a catastrophic event, and the people were living in tents with no gutter, no water, in desperate condition. And there was this intention to understand if they really wanted the reconstruction of the citadel, if they wanted the complete reconstruction or the partial reconstruction, if it was a priority against other priorities. And so we went around doing interview with the political bodies, but also we have a kind of a questionnaire that have been distributed by the student of Kerman. It was very difficult to get those information, so I just want to tell you some of the evidence that came out. 63% of the sample thinks that the reconstruction of the ark is an immediate priority, even if they don't have water and don't have houses and don't have hospitals and don't have schools for their children, and they are starving. And 40% wants the total reconstruction. Also, the numbers are very small, so we cannot say that this is a representative sample. It was a kind of scratching the surface of the entire body of the population. But then, the metaphoric expression most used often describe the ark as a part of the physical body. The major of the BAM that lost his wife and children in the quake says, "It was our pride and distinction. I used to walk there since I was a child. It was part of myself, like my hand. BAM without the ark is like a man who cannot breathe. We can say that ark is the father and the house are the son." So the metaphor, more often physical metaphor of loss, right? And if we looked at the distribution of the preferences, what struck me at that time is that the people that were asking for an immediate priority, independently from the amount of damages, so you have immediate priority here, 100% damages, immediate priority, even if you have lower level of damages, are the people that were living nearby the citadel. While you go into the peripheral part of the town, the preferences were, in a sense, more differentiated. Like the physical presence were hitting their body and producing a preference that was apparently non-rational, because they didn't have homes, they didn't have water, they didn't have gutter, they didn't have anything. So what we concluded from this, the idea that you had this kind of feeling that was an enormous resources for the reconstruction of the citadel. But in fact, the impression that we had is that the decision about the reconstruction of the citadel didn't cope with that availability. In fact, the community wasn't involved, as far as I understood, into the reconstruction of the citadel. So what I can say after this, first thing, I understood that the situation and the heritage produces conditions that challenge what economists suggest us to know. So rationality and Maslow. And Maslow's scale of references. So people react to the heritage damage in ways that are surprising. And the second point is that we need to take this possibility or this, let's say, availability into the management plan of our sites, into the way in which we take care of the communication, and this is the maintenance of the meaning production and the capability building into the community, which is a crucial activity and a very entrepreneurial activity. And we need to train and to create the condition and to be very focused into this target if we want this to happen. And what is happening now in Italy, what is happening in Europe, we are failing this target. Thank you.